look at the materials we're going to be using in today's very easy dandelion painting. This is a 9x12 surface to paint on. It's an artist panel. It's done. It's ready to paint. I have the colors in acrylic paint of red, yellow, and blue, white, and black. Bunches of cotton swabs that are bundled together with small hair rubber bands, some loose ones for details, a round number 4 brush that's going to be nice for fine lines, and a big wide brush. This is a number 30 bright. The very first step in this project is for you to take your water and your big wide brush, dragging off the extra water so that it's not sopping. You're going to come to your surface here and just real quick get it very barely damp. This is going to help you with the blending. Now you're going to take your brush again. You're going to dip it in the water, dragging off the extra, and let's load up a lot of your red paint. Come to your surface, and then you're going to just brush back and forth. Get some more. Put a lot of paint on there. Coming back and forth. A third of the way up. Now rinse out. Dry off. And you're going to get your water again. This time with your yellow paint. Come right here. And you're going to see that that makes the blending between the two colors a lot easier. You may need to rinse out just to make sure that your yellow has a clear space on the surface. There we go, blending down. I'm going to wipe off, and this time I'm going to get my white paint right here. I'm going to come right here using my white and make a little band for when I transition into the blue. Now I'm going to wipe off my brush with a paper towel. Get just a little bit of water on there. Grab my blue paint. I'm going to come from the top. And then I'm going to bring that down to where this is still wet. Just bring it down. And you're going to see that that blends right into a perfect sunset sky. That was a pretty easy step. Now you need to let this dry so you can do the next one. With your surface dry, you're ready to move on to the next step. Get your round detail brush. I'm going to take my jar of water, dip my round detail brush in, and again, take off the extra drops. I'm going to get a little white loaded on to the tip of my brush. I'm going to come over here to the canvas, and I'm going to, at about the midway point and over a couple fingers, make a curved downward line. That's it. Then on this side, on the right side, I'm going to bring a small line down. And then on the left side, I will bring a small line down. Then you're going to come out and make a shoulder. That's a little line out left. And then down all the way to the bottom of the surface. It's just a straight line. Do the same here. Connect them up. There you go. Doesn't have to be perfect. You want it to be clearly there. Rinse your brush out thoroughly, and now you're ready to start putting in the stems. To do the stems, dip your brush again in water, and you're going to get into your black paint. Load your brush up nicely with your black paint, just on the tip. And let's come up here and put one of the flyaway dandelion buttons. That's the button of the flower, and it's a curved line. Just a little bit here, and let's fill in a small amount, but not all of it. Now I want to come over here and add another one. About the same size. It can be a little smaller. And let's add another one facing over here. Just up and facing a little bit this way. Once those are done, you're going to create a stem that comes from the button into the jar with a nice curve. Sometimes it's nice to work just on the tip of your brush. If you press very, very hard, it can make your line too thick. If you have a boo-boo, just rinse out your brush, and before the paint dries, you can easily erase. But don't panic at any point. Get a little more black paint. We're going to curve this line down this way. More black paint, this line down that way. When those are done, the next step is to allow your painting to dry again. Once your paint is thoroughly dry so that you can paint the next layer over, go ahead and grab your jar of water again and your round brush, rinse it out thoroughly, and let's load up some white paint once again on the edge. Now, we're going to come right here and create the rest of the jar. You're going to make a smiling line. I like to think of a smile. It always helps me make the mouth of a jar. And it's going to have a parallel friend just below it. It can be nice to paint a little bit of the jar that way. And now, come down the shoulder on the belly and toe of the brush. It's a little bit on the side, making a little bit of a reflection. We're going to come right here. Brush is dry, haven't gotten any more water. I go down and over, maybe another one right there. That's all we're going to have to do on that. Rinse out, and then maybe grab a little of your blue paint and come and make a bit of a dark shadow that the glass might have. Behind the stems a little bit, down the shoulder, down this shoulder, right here, and let's make a little shade inside. Once that's done, you're ready for the last and most fun step, which is putting in the dandelion fluff. Let's get our bundled together Q-tips, and I'll show you how easy that is to do. So I have my Q-tips pre-bundled. They're bunches of 4. I have my white paint, and I'm going to very carefully come to the edge here and dip them in, and then I come to the side and dip up and down. Over here, I'm going to begin, and I just very carefully press like a stamp all the way around. If I run out of paint, I can come over and stamp again, pressing up and down, leaving a little space around your button so that it still shows. Come around and complete the fluff. If your Q-tips, if your cotton buds begin to get fluffy, you can always switch over to the not fluffy side. Once again, in the paint, stamping up and down for a stamp. Let's put in our stamp for right here. Again, more paint. Up and down, exactly like you would with the stamp. I'm going to make the fluff a little thicker on that side and make sure that it's a little heavier so that it shows. This is all painted up, so I'll put this aside and grab another clean and perfect little stamper. I'm going to get a little acrylic paint on it Stamp up and down, check the stamp, and let's go ahead and stamp around this little button. Around and around, not hard. When you're all done with that, go ahead and grab one of those individual cotton buds, stamp it up and down in your palette, and let's make a pretty little bit of wish that's blowing away. When it gets fluffy, you know you can turn it over for a clean stamp. And be nice to make it sort of tapered. And if you have any areas to correct, it's a good idea to do them now. I have lots of individual cotton buds put aside just for this purpose. This one should have a little bit of fluff going over towards its friend. And now we're going to add some fluff that blows off this way. I like to curve the line a little bit down and up so that it's interesting and fun. And guess what? We have made a perfect little painting, and that is completely my wish for you. I think we're ready to sign it. Now, to sign your painting, you want to get your smallest, tidiest brush so that it doesn't make big, thick lines, so you can make a nice little signature. I'll show you how. I am selecting my brush. This is my small little detail brush. If you don't have a small little detail brush, you could use a Sharpie or your painting. It can fade a little bit and be chromatic over time, but if you're just doing this for fun and recreation, that's okay. If you're doing it as a gift or as a fine art project, do your best to sign it in the paint. But neither answer is right or wrong. Wow, look at that. Painting is something that if it's explained to you, you absolutely can do. This is a very easy dandelion step-by-step that you can follow along with and get a good result at home. Check my channel for more lessons exactly like this, and remember to create something every day. Be good to yourself, be good to each other, and I want to see you at an easel really soon. Bye-bye!